Good morning. I'm Vicki Wynn in for Savannah this morning.
And I'm Joe Fryer. Right now on Morning News Now, gas blackmail. New developments on the situation in Eastern Europe. Moscow's wrath now extending beyond Ukraine's borders as gas supplies to both Poland and Bulgaria are throttled in an apparent attempt to kneecap the European Union's economy. What the move could mean for global gas prices in the coming weeks. Terror on the diamond. Tense moments outside of a youth baseball game in South Carolina. Dozens of gunshots ring out in the parking lot of a municipal field. The new stats that show a disturbing rise in gun violence against children. And window to the soul, a snapshot of your life at a random time during the day, no matter how mundane. It is the basis of a brand new social media phenomenon that asks users to simply be real for the world to see. You had not heard of Be Real until this morning, right?
No, I had a really interesting concept. You're on it. What do you think?
I'm on it. I only have 2 friends so far, so maybe I'll have more by the end of the day.
I'm sure you will.
It's a super interesting idea and definitely sparks a lot of conversation.
I'm looking forward to that piece, Joe.
Get to that in a little bit. We're going to start this hour with more on that breaking news overnight. The European Union is accusing Russia of blackmail after state-run energy giant Gazprom shut off gas supplies to 2 countries, Poland and Bulgaria, for refusing to pay in rubles.
Yeah, that economic escalation comes after defense ministers gathered in Germany yesterday in a show of support for Ukraine. They discussed how to supply the country with more weapons. NBC News correspondent Aaron McLaughlin reports from the capital, Kyiv.
Hey guys, we just got back from the trenches of Kyiv where we saw firsthand the importance of Western weapons in this fight. They say it could be the difference between victory and defeat.
In Germany, more than 40 nations brought together by the U.S. Tuesday, showing their support for Ukraine.
I applaud all the countries that have risen and are rising to meet this demand. But we don't have any time to waste.
In a significant economic escalation, Russia halting gas deliveries to Poland and Bulgaria, citing its new rules that unfriendly countries must pay for gas in Russian rubles. This as the war shows no signs of slowing down. Russian troops striking transportation targets in Ukraine, including a key bridge outside Odessa. The Russians also claiming complete control over the Kherson region. The mayor there says they've taken over City Hall, and he fears they're planning to hold a sham referendum in order to legitimize their presence.
We are, of course, totally against this because it's a territory of Ukraine which temporarily occupied.
Sitting across from the UN Secretary General at his now infamously long white table, Russian President Vladimir Putin said he hopes for a positive result in negotiations with Ukraine. The comment comes after his foreign minister warned the threat of nuclear war is real.
Loose talk of nuclear weapons, nuclear escalation, is especially irresponsible. It is the height of irresponsibility.
The United States now pushing forward with plans to restore its embassy in Kyiv, announcing the first American diplomats have arrived back in Ukraine. Western support on full display outside the capital Wednesday morning as they showed off anti-tank weapons provided by the British. This soldier tells us we need to have many modern weapons, anti-tanks. It's very important to us.
All eyes on a Russian-backed breakaway region inside the country of Moldova. There are reports this morning of explosions happening inside that breakaway region, with both sides blaming each other. U.S. officials say it's too soon to know for sure what exactly is happening there. The source of the explosions is under investigation, but there are real concerns here in Ukraine that this conflict could be spreading outside of the country's borders with the potential to destabilize other parts of Eastern Europe. Back to you.
Aaron McLaughlin, thank you so much.
Let's get more on Ukraine with NBC News senior national security analyst and former deputy national security advisor to George W. Bush, Juan Zarate. Juan, good to have you with us. So let's start by asking you about this decision by Russia to cut off gas supplies to Poland and Bulgaria. How concerned are you about the impact this will have, not just on Europe, but globally in terms of gas prices? And are retaliatory moves like this to be expected?
Putin has always used the energy markets as a sword and a shield against the West, and certainly this is to be expected. In the short term, this is already spiking oil and gas prices in Europe, so we're seeing the market effects. It's raising the specter of additional potential Russian cutoffs of supplies into other parts of Europe, and it reminds the Europeans, and this is the intent, I think, from Putin, that there's a two-way street here in terms of the use of economic and financial pressure, and that if there's going to be a long-term conflict, if Europe is going to pressure Russia around its energy supplies and around its financing, Russia can bite back. And this is precisely how it can bite back. And it puts Russia back in the protagonist seat in terms of this financial and commercial campaign. And Putin knows how to use energy, and this is a shot across the bow.
Hey, Juan, let's talk about what happened yesterday. Defense ministers held talks in Germany. They were talking about weapon supplies to Ukraine. And one of the big announcements that came out was Germany saying, we will give heavy weapons to Ukraine for the first time. Talk about how significant this is, because in the past, Germany has wanted to be friendly with Russia. It doesn't want to get into conflict. Do you think this massive weapons push to Ukraine should be the West's main focus, or should we continue with more on the diplomatic front?
Well, I think at this point, we've seen what Russia's intent is, and that's to push very aggressively in the east and potentially in the south, and to gain territory. And the sense of urgency here, as we've heard from the American Secretary of Defense and others, is to get weapons into the hands of Ukraine so they can defend themselves and potentially even take back territory. The German migration here and their policy has been rather significant. Initially, they simply wanted to provide humanitarian aid. Then they moved to providing defensive weapons. Now they're moving toward heavy weaponry to supply to Ukraine. This also matches with their own increase in defense spending, their own increase in purchases of new weaponry, including F-35s from the U.S. And so this is a major step for Germany and an indication there's going to be continued supplies to Ukraine of heavy weaponry.
Aaron just mentioned another country we're watching. That's Moldova. Multiple explosions were reported in a breakaway Moscow-backed region of the country. Moldova's president condemned the attack, saying they're an attempt to destabilize the area, while Ukraine's president has accused Russia of being behind the blast. So, Juan, do you think Moldova could get sucked into this conflict?
It's possible. And ever since a Russian military official indicated that Russian intent was to take not just territory in the Ukrainian east or the south, but also to move toward Transnistria in Moldova, where Russian troops sit today, there have been concerns that Moldova would get pulled in. And certainly American officials are talking about not just these attacks, but potential false flag operations that the Russians would use as justification to move more troops in and to connect their operations and encircle Ukraine further.
Juan, thank you so much for your analysis this morning. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, Juan. We turn now to COVID in the White House. This morning, Vice President Kamala Harris is isolating at home after testing positive for COVID. Now, she is the highest member within the Biden administration to have COVID. The virus has rippled through Capitol Hill in the last several weeks, from staff to sitting Congress members. The question still remains if the president is at risk for COVID. NBC News Chief White House correspondent Peter Alexander has the very latest.
That's right. The vice president's office says that she will follow CDC guidelines and remain at home at her residence for the next 5 days through the weekend. She tested positive on Tuesday using both a rapid and PCR tests. And we're told that she started taking the antiviral therapeutic Paxlovid prescribed by her doctor. Still, all of it is raising new questions about COVID protocols around the president. This morning, COVID-19 reaching the second highest office in the land. Vice President Kamala Harris, who received her second booster shot earlier this month, tweeting, "I have no symptoms and I will continue to isolate and follow CDC guidelines. I'm grateful to be both vaccinated and boosted." A Harris aide telling NBC News she's now taking the antiviral treatment Paxlovid made by Pfizer, just as the administration is taking steps to expand availability of the therapeutic that's been proven to reduce hospitalizations and deaths by nearly 90%.
We now have plenty available, and anybody who is eligible, anybody who's high risk, should be getting Paxlovid.
The CDC says most Americans have now been infected with COVID, including nearly 60% of adults and 75% of children. Pfizer is now asking the FDA to approve a booster shot for children ages 5 through 11. The vice president's aides say she tested positive Tuesday before a scheduled intelligence briefing with President Biden in the Oval Office and left without seeing the president. The White House says Harris was last together with the president and First Lady 8 days earlier at the Easter egg roll.
before spending the week in California, returning to Washington Monday night. Despite its strict protocols, the White House acknowledges the president could still test positive.
It is possible that the president, like any other American, could get COVID. The bottom line is he is vaccinated and boosted. He is very well protected.
The infection for America's most powerful woman is the latest in a string of positive cases among top administration officials and lawmakers, with at least 80 cases stemming from an exclusive dinner in D.C. last month.
Good morning, everyone.
The president has a full plate this week, slated to attend several large gatherings, including memorial services for former Secretary of State Madeleine Albright and former Vice President Walter Mondale, as well as the return of the annual White House Correspondents Association dinner on Saturday night.
For Saturday's correspondent dinner, all guests have to be fully vaccinated and will have to show proof of a negative rapid test that day. Vice President Harris was never expected to attend, and just this morning, we've confirmed that Dr. Anthony Fauci will no longer be attending the dinner out of concerns about COVID. As for the president, the White House says that his last COVID test was on Monday, and it was negative. Back to you.
All right, Peter Alexander, thank you so much.
Let's bring in NBC News medical contributor Dr. Uche Blackstock. She's an emergency medicine physician and the CEO of Advancing Health Equity. Doctor, always good to have you with us. So we just heard from the White House's new COVID coordinator about the use of Paxlovid for the VP's treatment plan. We know the Biden administration is pushing for more people to use these antiviral pills once they get infected. Why is it pharmacies are struggling to reach people, especially at-risk people, and who qualifies for the use of this drug?
Joe, thanks so much for having me. Paxlovid is an incredibly effective medication, decreases hospitalizations by about 90%. The challenge is that people need to be tested first. So they have to have a test with a positive result. And then a lot of them, they have to have a healthcare provider prescribe the medication. So a nurse, a physician, or a physician assistant has to prescribe it. And so because of those series of steps, it seems it's become quite difficult for people to obtain this medication. And so that's why the Biden administration is taking these extra steps to ensure this test to treat program is a success. People who are eligible for this are people who are considered high risk for hospitalization. So obesity, high blood pressure, kidney disease, history of cancer, or immunocompromised. So, the vice president may have one of these risk factors. We are not clear which one she has.
Dr. Blackstock, we want to play something for you and our viewers about what Dr. Jha said regarding the COVID policy in the U.S. Take a listen.
We have a very, very contagious variant out there. It is going to be hard to ensure that no one gets COVID in America. That's not even a policy goal. The goal of our policies should be, obviously, minimize infections whenever possible, but to make sure people don't get seriously ill. The best ways of doing that are making sure people are vaccinated and boosted, as the vice president is, and making sure we have plenty of therapeutics.
This is a transition. We're learning to live with this. What do you make of the position? And also, do you think it's a realistic one, given the plateau that we are seeing in COVID vaccines and boosters?
So I agree that we do have a very contagious variant. However, we have relaxed COVID protections, the public measures that were effective. Most states have relaxed them. So that's another reason why we are seeing this increase in cases. And so, I do think that we need to think about how do we keep people safe. And yes, we don't want people to end up in hospitals, but we also know if they get infected, they are at high risk for developing long COVID. There's so much that we don't know about long COVID. So I do think that we need to consider the impact if people do continue to get infected.
Dr. Uche Blackstock, thanks so much as always for your expertise. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.
Thank you.
Time to get a check on your morning news now. Weather.
All right, we turn back to our friend Michelle Grossman. Good morning. You saw a lot of pink you showed us on the map last time with this chills. And I'm thinking, are we April? Is it really April 27th?
I know. It's terrible. We want we want summer weather, 80 degrees. We want to feel like summer, but it's not going to feel like that. In some spots it is. It's 95 degrees today in Phoenix. So you just need to go to the southwest. Good morning to you, Vicki. Good morning to you, Joe. And we are looking at a frontal system. It's going to park itself in the plains, and that's going to bring rounds of storms today, tomorrow, and also Friday. So we're going to see unsettled weather over the next 3 days. That part of the country is warm in the southern plains. So we kind of have a dividing line before that winter weather weather we were just talking about with all that pink and the warm air. So multiple rounds of showers and thunderstorms. We're going to see a flash flood threat increasing, where we're seeing those storms over and over again, kind of like that sit and spin that you used to use when you're little. It's going to kind of train over the same spots. So as we go throughout this afternoon and evening, you can see a swath from, let's say, Nebraska through Kansas, the panhandle of Texas, where we could see winds gusting to 60 miles per hour, damaging wind. It's going to be on the smaller side and a very low risk of tornadoes. So that's good news. That's going to be the same story tomorrow. Notice the same spots seeing that threat where we could see those 60 mile per hour winds and also the small hail. It's Friday that we're really looking at and concerned about. We're going to see that sort of blossom with that warm air in place, that humid air in place. So we do have an enhanced risk. We don't see that all that often. That's 3 out of 5 on the scale from the Severe Prediction Center. So where you see that really deep orange, and then yellow, we're looking from Grand Island, including Kansas City, Joplin, Wichita, and Oklahoma City. We could see hail up to 2 inches. That's large hail. Also winds gusting over 60 miles per hour, even a little higher where we're seeing the severe weather. And once again, a few tornadoes are possible. So that's going to be the day to watch. We have a fire danger once again. We had a break on Monday. It sort of became elevated yesterday and today. We do have red flag warnings in the Southwest. That includes Albuquerque into Silver City. And we do have the potential for some fire spread. That's because we have really dry terrain. We have low humidity, and we have winds gusting up to 40 miles per hour. So there is a critical risk. That's where you see that deep red. And then an elevated risk is the yellow. That includes Denver as well. But there's that chilly air we were talking about. Temperatures in the 40s, 41 degrees today in Buffalo. Again, we are waking up and walking out the door this morning to temperatures in the 20s and 30s in many spots. And New York City just 57. So you need to hold on to that spring coat just a little bit longer. And you guys, I'll be back into the studio with you tomorrooo.
Oh, good.
It's been since January 2020.
We are excited to have you. We can yell at you in person for all of the cold weather.
Looking forward to
We'll be
it.
nice.
Yeah, no,
we'll be nice.
Don't hurt the messenger. Welcome back.
Yeah,
we'll
exactly.
see you soon.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks. Bye.
Well, coming up, the race to prevent a dangerous yearly phenomenon out west. How the federal government is now working to minimize the damage from widespread wildfires before this season burns out residents.
Plus, another week, another successful SpaceX launch, and this time it happened while most of the country was still fast asleep. We'll bring you this morning's event and the 4 astronauts on board after the break.
Turning now to the dangerous early start to fire season. This morning, 11 large fires are burning across at least 6 states, scorching more than 200,000 acres combined. There is a massive effort to stop these fires before they can even start, though. NBC News correspondent Miguel Almaguer explains in our series, The Climate Challenge.
Raging wildfires, fueled by acres of dense forest, propelled by unstoppable walls of flames. Obliterating homes and incinerating communities. It happens year.
Firefighters are beginning to lose the battle.
After year.
The air attack has been a major asset all day long. But
after year.
The winds fanning these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
In 2021, Oregon's Bootleg fire tore through the Jacobs family property.
The fires have just got unreal big from what they was back in the past.
And when it's burning, can anything slow it down?
No.
The 5th-generation loggers and ranchers lost 300 acres.
It is quite a project.
Now the federal government is trying to help families like theirs, urging them to thin their own forests before fire season begins, or to initiate prescribed burns, controlled fires like this one, so there's less wood to fuel the flames when fire season starts. But conducting these burns isn't cheap or easy.
Who pays for that?
That's the thing right there. If we'd have managed our own property, done this thinning and stuff behind us, and then possibly had the state come in and do underburns and stuff like that, it would have saved our ground.
Across the U.S., there are 765 million acres of forest land. Extreme drought and climate change creating the most explosive conditions in the West. The government now wants to reduce fuel and clear as much land as the size of Idaho. To tackle that, last fall's infrastructure bill included billions set aside to fight wildfires before they start.
When you look out here and you see all these trees, do you see beauty or do you see danger?
Both. You know, I wish we could thin it all.
Here in Oregon, forest thinning can cost up to $900 an acre. Government grants help, but there's not enough money to go around.
The Jacobs family has applied for federal funding, but for now, they're covering their own bill. On a property this size, it's roughly $1 million, something they can't afford. But the cost of a catastrophic wildfire is even greater.
Just a few miles away from the Jacobs Ranch, the Dollingers' property was also burned by the Bootleg Fire. But they're taking part in a 10-year program with Oregon's Department of Forestry. So a controlled burn in 2017 prevented what would likely have cost them their land.
We'd spent all those years trying to keep fire away, and here we invited it. You're going to burn. And you can have a choice. You want it controlled or do you want it uncontrolled? That is the reality.
Which is why they're investing in prevention, a price easier to pay before than after disaster strikes. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News, Bly, Oregon.
A court in Myanmar has sentenced former leader Aung San Suu Kyi to an additional 5 years in prison in the first of 11 corruption trials she's facing.
NBC News foreign correspondent Claudio Lavanga joins us now with more on that and the other international stories making headlines this morning. Good morning, Claudio.
Good morning, guys. Yes, this was only one of several corruption cases against Aung San Suu Kyi and one of many trials she will have to face since she was deposed in a military coup. In this particular case, where she was found guilty of accepting bribes made of gold and cash for a total of worth of $600,000. Well, now she denies all the charges and her supporters say that this sentence, as well as the other charges, are politically motivated. Let's move to the Democratic Republic of Congo, where a 25-year-old woman has become the second victim of a fresh outbreak of Ebola days after her sister died from the disease. Health workers are now rushing to identify the people they came in contact with in an effort to stop the deadly disease from spreading. There have been 13 previous outbreaks of Ebola in the DRC, including one from 2018 to 2020 that killed nearly 2,300 people. And let's end in Saudi Arabia, where they have asked Disney to cut LGBTQ references in its upcoming superhero film called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness before it can be screened in the country. Now, Saudi Arabia's General Supervisor of Cinema Classification, this is his title, has asked to cut 12 seconds in the film in which a lesbian character refers to her two moms. Well, Disney so far has rejected the request, guys.
Claudio, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Now, a few hours ago, NASA and SpaceX launched 4 more astronauts to the International Space Station, including the first African-American woman to have a long-duration stay at the station. But this launch comes at a moment of high tension between the U.S. and Russia, creating a threat to space cooperation. NBC's Tom Costello was on hand for the launch early this morning and joins us now from Kennedy Space Center. Hey, Tom, good morning.
Joe, another spectacular launch just before 4 in the morning here. And we've got multiple headlines, as you suggested. First of all, Jessica Watkins and her history-setting mission. And then we've got this drama playing out between the Russian and American space agencies. NASA preparing to go back to the moon, landing on the moon, perhaps within a couple of years. And then we've got NASA depending on, more reliant than ever, on SpaceX.
7, 6, 5.
While most of the country was still fast asleep.
Ignition.
Freedom soars and the dragon flies forth.
Yet another SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket roared to life in the Florida night sky.
We are T plus 35 seconds in.
On board, 4 NASA astronauts traveling at 17,500 miles per hour for a rendezvous with the space station, with a stuffed turtle and monkey along for the ride.
And this is them in 0G, 2 of them for the first time.
While back on Earth, that signature SpaceX maneuver, landing both rocket boosters on the bullseye. The dramatic morning coming just 39 hours after private Axiom astronauts returned to Earth in a different SpaceX capsule.
Dragon SpaceX, we see splashdown and mains cut.
This morning's launch further cementing NASA's partnership with the commercial space industry.
We are really in a golden era of space exploration.
On board today, Jessica Watkins, set to become the first African-American woman on a long-duration stay.
I am just really honored to be a part of the long legacy of black astronauts and black women astronauts who came before me.
But NASA also has big challenges. It's still working on technical problems for the test flight of its Artemis rocket program this summer, orbiting the moon without a crew, then carrying astronauts back to the lunar surface within 2 years, including a woman and person of color. Meanwhile, right now on the space station, Russian and American astronauts continue working together, even as the head of the Russian Space Agency has threatened to stop cooperating.
Despite a war going on in Ukraine, I see that professional relationship with astronauts and cosmonauts and the ground teams, I see that continuing.
Crew 4 docking with the space station at about 8:15 Eastern time tonight. By the way, one challenge is for the space station to keep dodging space debris. Part of it caused when the Russians exploded one of their own satellites in orbit, creating a massive debris field. They've just had to maneuver the station out of the way by a couple of kilometers. It's a constant challenge. Guys, back to you.
Wow, that's an issue getting more attention as of late, too. All right, Tom, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Coming up, terror on the diamond. Dozens of gunshots rang out in the parking lot of a youth baseball game in South Carolina Monday. It's once again shining a light on gun violence against the nation's children.
Terrifying. Plus, it is a true crime junkie's dream. A brand new college program pairing college students with Michigan State Police, all to solve decades-old cold cases. Savannah has that story next. Welcome back. Now to a very scary scene in South Carolina where a Little League game was interrupted by gunshots. Dozens of bullets forced children and parents to duck for cover. NBC News senior national correspondent Carrie Sanders joins us now with that story. Good morning, Carrie.
Well, good morning. You know, gun violence is a disturbing trend touching communities nationwide. This most recent violence comes as new stats reveal that for the first time ever, guns killed more kids in 2020 than any other cause of death.
Monday night at the Pepper Hill Park baseball field in Charleston, South Carolina, moments of terror. A hail of gunfire nearby, sending frightened Little Leaguers and their parents scrambling for cover.
All of a sudden, I just hear boom, boom, like 2 fireworks going off. And then literally 2 seconds later, it was like the 4th of July out there.
I just got down and listened to my coach, and I heard bullets hit the fence.
Blake and Lori Ferguson and their 4 kids are at the baseball field nearly every day. Their 8-year-old son Silas was on the mound.
And I heard my coach say, get down, so I just got down. And I was really scary.
A nearby fight carrying over to the park. Authorities say dozens of shots were fired, damaging cars and causing panic on the field, leaving families and kids traumatized.
Roll that way. How do you explain this?
You know, we got home last night and she's still shaking. Our 5-year-old is still crying. We had a sleepover in our bedroom last night because they're so scared.
It's an unsettling trend nationwide. According to data from the CDC, a record 45,222 people died from firearms-related injuries in 2020 in the U.S. Across the country, a rash of shootings. Philadelphia averaging 1.5 homicides per day. And just last week, police releasing this video that appears to show a sniper shooting more than 100 times into a Washington, D.C. neighborhood. In Charleston, the mayor says it's time to take action.
Our police department is going to start taking guns off the street again.
Officials in Charleston have now announced a $10,000 reward for any information leading to arrests in this incident. Vicki?
Terrifying for those families out there. Carrie Sanders, thanks so much. Good to see you.
It's a dream course for anyone obsessed with true crime. A new program at Western Michigan University has students putting on their detective hats and actually helping Michigan State Police solve real-life cold cases. As our own Savannah Sellers explains, the group has already cracked one of those cases.
All of this we get from the Michigan State Police. We have boxes, laptops, binders, just full of documents and other evidence.
Mackenzie Stoneman's a senior at Western Michigan University, but she's also kind of a detective.
We could be looking for names, addresses, contact information, other evidentiary information that could be case specific.
She's part of the school's cold case program that has a few select students sifting through boxes of evidence, helping state police crack cases that have gone decades without answers.
It wasn't just reading chapters in a book, taking a test, memorizing it, and then forgetting everything that we learned. It was working on something that could change the trajectory of the whole case.
You're always looking for that perfect scenario to get students to just dive right in.
Professor Ashlyn Kirsten started the cold case program last year after forming a friendship with state police detective Chuck Christensen.
I started talking to Chuck, and he had all of these cold cases with the Michigan State Police, and I had all these brilliant students who want to learn these research skills, and they're interested in law enforcement. I mean, you see where I'm going with this? This is just like, this is so easy.
How does this program work? You get the evidence, essentially boxes like this.
Yes.
And what happens?
So they organize it and then they scan it all and make it into a digital reference guide of the actual case. So thousands of pieces of data end up getting turned into something that detectives can keep on their phone, and they can do a quick search on anything.
How much do just those few things, those few steps that they're involved in help you?
We had a case here where we had 4 detectives just doing that organizational phase for 6 months. Every single scrap of information that is in investigators' notes, in police reports, in lab reports, in autopsy reports is at your fingertip. Just think of the time that saves. It's unbelievable.
The program's already had a huge win. The first case they worked on, a murder from 1987, solved, with the suspect pleading no contest to the crime.
The first case this program really gets its hands on leads to a conviction. What did that feel like?
Disbelief. Just because, I mean, we worked on it for so long, and it's a cold case. It's been cold for decades. And so when we started, all right, well, this name pops up, okay, and then say, oh, well, we're looking into him, he's been arrested. Oh, this is becoming very real. This is becoming very surreal. I just can't believe this is happening.
Will this impact what you do after you graduate?
I always thought I wanted to go into law enforcement, and so this has really given me confidence, and this is what I actually want to do.
Now, Professor Kirsten and Detective Christensen say they've been getting calls from other schools to help start similar programs.
I think in Michigan, unfortunately, we have a lot of cold cases, so I hope we can get student eyes onto other cold cases in the area and hopefully get those families the closure that they need and deserve.
Do you all sort of feel like a team of detectives?
I do. Yeah. Our little Scooby-Doo crew.
Yeah. I wonder which one's Fred, which
yeah.
one's anyway.
Vilma.
Our thanks to Savannah for that report. The suspect from the case the team helped solve was actually sentenced to at least 23 years in prison. The students say there are about 22 unsolved cold cases in their district, so they're going to have their hands full.
It's a genius idea.
It's brilliant, yeah.
Police departments always need more resources. You have brilliant college students. I love that. More schools should be doing it. Well, coming up, a stock market slump hitting investors hard this week. The Dow plunging more than 800 points yesterday. So what's behind this roller coaster market, and what does it mean for your wallet and your retirement? We have the answers coming up.
We have breaking news this morning. Russian officials have agreed to free American and former Marine Trevor Reed in a prisoner swap. Reed had been detained in Moscow since 2019 when he was accused of assaulting a Russian police officer during an altercation. In exchange for Reed's freedom, the U.S. released a Russian pilot who had been in U.S. custody since 2010 on drug smuggling charges. President Biden hailed Reed's release in a statement this morning and thanked the U.S. officials who've worked on freeing him over the past 3 years.
Now we turn to the impact of yesterday's wild ride for the stock market. All 3 major averages took a beating as investors get worried about the prospect of persistent inflation and the impact China's new lockdowns could have on global supply chains. Stock futures are pointing to a rebound this morning, with all eyes on what Wall Street's next move will be. NBC News senior Washington correspondent Hallie Jackson has the latest for us.
We're all paying more for just about everything these days, and now a lot of Americans might be looking at your investments, like your 401ks, getting hit by a stock market dip. Experts say those economic issues may be with us for a while. Nervous investors watching Wall Street this morning after the markets tumbled Tuesday. The Dow down some 800 points, while the tech-heavy NASDAQ dropped more than 500 points to its lowest close since 2020. That dive driven in part by a Tesla stock slump, which happened after the company's CEO, Elon Musk, moved to buy Twitter this week for $44 billion. Global concerns like higher COVID rates and lockdowns in China and the war in Ukraine are driving the sell-off. But the slide's also being blamed on soaring inflation and fears of a possible recession. Prices are climbing for Americans who are spending more on everything from groceries to gasoline.
We have prices rising for a lot of things at the fastest rate they've, ever risen in for a while, 4 decades.
The cost of food up nearly 9%, while gas prices have jumped more than 18% in the last year. To help ease inflation, the Federal Reserve indicating it may start aggressively raising interest rates as early as next month.
Our goal is to use our tools to get demand and supply back in sync so that inflation moves down, and do so without a slowdown that amounts to a recession.
But those rate hikes could affect your expenses.
Your mortgage rates, your car loan. Before, people were doing a lot of refinancing because rates were so low. Now you'll probably see that start to slow down because rates are going to increase.
And now Morgan Stanley's out with a warning that the stock market ride may get even bumpier, saying the S&P 500 could fall sharply into a bear market, which is when it drops 20% off its highs. A lot of people looking to see what the markets do. Back to you.
Hallie Jackson, thank you so much.
Staying on your money, it looks like people are willing to pay a little more for their Chipotle burritos, and that led to a better than expected earnings report from the fast casual chain.
CNBC's Silvana Hanau joins us now with more on that and the morning's other financial headlines. Good morning, Silvana.
Hey guys, good morning. Yeah, that's right. So Chipotle's quarterly earnings beating Wall Street forecasts as customers paid more, helping to offset rising food and labor costs. The burrito chain is paying more for beef, avocados, paper, and employees, but it's being helped by price hikes on the menu and lower delivery cost. Chipotle's CEO telling CNBC's Jim Cramer staffing is back at pre-pandemic levels. Robinhood is laying off 9% of its full-time workforce and cutting back on overlapping roles it added when the investing platform was growing rapidly during the pandemic. Robinhood's headcount increased from 700 to 3,800 during that period. In an attempt to jumpstart slowing growth, Robinhood announced last month it would extend trading hours from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. Walmart is bumping up the fuel discount for Walmart Plus members from 5 to 10 cents a gallon and is adding about 12,000 Exxon and Mobil stations to the program. The discount is already available at Walmart and Murphy gas stations, as well as Sam's Club fuel centers. Walmart launched Walmart Plus in 2020, offering similar features to Amazon Prime, such as unlimited free delivery for $98 a year, guys.
Those discounts on gas coming in handy right now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That'll get people interested.
Yep. Silvana, thank you so much.
You got it.
All right, coming up, the latest social media phenomenon that's asking users to simply be real. One photo a day taken at a random time. No filters, no Photoshop. The anti-influencer app of sorts that's gaining ground nationwide.
Interesting. And a cautionary tale as the weather warms up. Protect that noggin when taking out your two-wheeler. This season, it is good for your own health. And our Stephanie Gosk shares her story of one scary accident that could have been much worse without her helmet. That is next. Singer Bad Bunny, Sam Brock was just talking about him, now the newest member of the Marvel Universe. The 28-year-old Puerto Rico native, whose actual name is Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, has been cast as the superhero in the new standalone comic book film, El Muerto. That makes him the first ever Latino actor to headline a live-action Marvel film. The news was unveiled at CinemaCon this week, which is the annual gathering in Las Vegas of movie theater owners. El Muerto is a wrestler whose powers are handed down by ancestry in the form of a mask, which gives him superhuman strength. The movie is set to hit theaters on January 2024.
And he's actually wrestled in the ring for WWE a few times, so he has some experience. There you go.
Perfect casting.
All right. A new social media app is growing in popularity. It is called Be Real, and it's trying to redefine what makes an app popular. With Be Real, you can take pictures, but you can't use filters. You can't plan out an elaborate shoot with a beautiful backdrop, and you can't post a pic that is already in your phone. The goal is to show your authentic self at any given moment. Here's the Be Real deal. Once a day at a random time, users get a notification that simply says, "Time to be real." That moment, you've got 2 minutes to snap a pic. Your phone's front camera captures what you're doing, what's in front of you, no matter how mundane. Well, the rear-facing camera captures you, a selfie. 2 images, no filters, promptly posted for your friends to see.
It's really like just a snippet in someone's life. It's just a snapshot.
Do you feel like there's ever photos you take, especially the selfie images, where you're like, oh, I don't love that, but I'm going to put it out there anyway?
You know, nobody's photo is going to be of them in like full glam, you know, like looking their best. I think it's sort of an unspoken rule that we're all going to do it and be, you know, our just like natural selves.
Even though the app launched in early 2020, it really skyrocketed this year, growing 315% since January 1st, according to Apptopia.
Hey guys, I'm moving dorms, so let's pack.
It's especially popular with Gen Zers like college freshman Max Zuanich.
I love it. I think it's so cool. I look forward to the notifications every day.
What is it about it that you like so much?
I just now am realizing how addicting social media is in general. And it just highlights how you're only trying to show the highlights of your life. And that's kind of what helped me like realize like, oh my gosh, this is kind of an issue for me.
Be Real is marketed as an alternative to addictive social networks. It won't make you famous, the company bluntly states. If you want to become an influencer, you can stay on TikTok and Instagram. Do you find that it's better for your mental health compared with other social media apps you might use?
It's definitely not as draining on your mental health. You know, it's not these like curated images from celebrities or influencers or anything.
For college sophomore Juliana Caffarella, it's a way to share a truly real part of her life with close friends, like when she got a notification during her aunt's funeral.
So I like quickly snapped just like a picture of like just my eyes up, and they were like really puffy from crying at a funeral. But you know, those are things that are like slightly more vulnerable moments.
And if you are busy when that daily notification comes, you can post your pics later. Your friends will just see that it was late. After all, what's more real than a little tardiness? Now, you can't like someone's post the same way you do on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, but you can comment and use like emojis and stickers to express how you feel about a post. And here's key. The company says it wants to prevent what it calls lurking, so you can only see someone's content if you've uploaded a picture too.
So to see what you're doing, I'd also have to be on the app and participate.
Exactly, especially for that day. I think it's a good idea.
I'm really curious to see how that takes off.
We're going to wait and see. All right.
All right.
Right now that the weather is getting nicer, you might want to hop on your bike and go for an afternoon ride.
Definitely. But remember to put that helmet on before you go. Each year, nearly 1,000 cyclists are killed because they're not taking that precaution. NBC News correspondent Stephanie Gosk joins us now with a personal story about a ride gone wrong and the helmet that may have saved her life.
The sun is out, it's warming up, time to grab the bike and hit the road, which is exactly what I did quite literally about a month ago. This is something of a cautionary tale and definitely a helpful reminder. Biking is great, just make sure you grab a helmet before you go. My bike has been in police custody for about 4 weeks. Oh, there it is. Wow, it's really not that beaten up. Not exactly detained so much as stored after my ill-fated bike ride last month.
I mean, the speed you were going and the tumble is, you know, it's a good thing for helmets, and it's a good thing that you had some luck on your side.
During the pandemic, instead of perfecting my cooking, I got into cycling, and the hobby stuck. I was out for my first ride of the season this year on a bright and chilly Saturday. I came flying down that hill and was looking up this next hill at some riders that I wanted to catch. And as I was looking at them, I was not looking at this. And then I went down. Homeowners caught the moment I crashed on security cameras. I hit that pothole and then slid.
So you were sitting on the sidewalk on the curb, and obviously there was like blood, and you had your helmet on, which is good.
This EMT team took me to the hospital. I would need stitches over my eye and eventually surgery on my right thumb. But I didn't lose consciousness, and I didn't have a concussion, thanks to my helmet.
It was visibly like busted up, and like there was like a crack that we saw, and we like realized like, oh, like she wore a helmet, and like that's what saved her head.
There are nearly 1,000 deaths each year on bicycles. In the vast majority, riders aren't wearing helmets.
Not everybody wearing a helmet is going to survive a severe crash, but wearing a helmet definitely increases the likelihood that you will survive a crash versus not.
Helmets reduce the odds of head injury by 50%. The impact is absorbed by the helmet. As the ER doctor said to me, your helmet looks like this, so your head doesn't have to.
You're not always thinking about falling or getting injured, but it happens. It happens to everyone, even the most experienced bikers, and it's really just so important. That helmet is what saves people's lives.
So which helmets work best? Virginia Tech University tested hundreds.
The test basically involves putting a simulated head inside the helmet and then dropping it onto hard surfaces. Some of those hard surfaces are angular to impart rotational motion.
The safest helmets get 5 stars. The ratings posted on Virginia Tech's website, which I will use to buy a new helmet. The bike may need some work, as will my right hand. It's pretty light, but I hope to be riding again by the summer. Thanks to the city of Tenafly, their first responders, and for paving up that pothole. Anyone interested in more information about bike helmets should go to the Today Show website at today.com. Back to you.
We are so glad Stephanie is better and back getting on the mend.
And sharing her story is going to save lives. So we're grateful that she is opening up and speaking so candidly about what happened.
Important tips about helmets. All right, well, that does it for this hour of Morning News Now.
Stay with us, though. The news continues right now.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.